Hi, welcome to Who Was Phone, the Reading Bad Creepypastas podcast. I'm Quinn, also known as Buh, also known as Buffo, also known as Him, also known as The Drink. And I'm here with my co-hosts.
It's me. You already know me. It's Las Vegas, also known as The Cup.
Also known as The
And
Sandwich.
the newest edition, Jesse Chatcher, or you could call me Jesse.
He's married.
I am the married friend joining the podcast.
He got married at 18. Isn't that crazy?
Bro, I'm not 18.
He got married at 18.
I'm 22.
You said the
Yeah,
wrong
you're like
thing.
a baby. You're like a baby, dude.
Man, I'm the baby married friend.
He
on
got
the
sold
podcast.
off. It was an arranged marriage. Very sad.
Yeah, to an older woman.
Yeah, she's
Kind of like a predator, honestly.
She's 47. I thought that was so messed up. Okay, no.
And she kind of smells like Crisco too.
Okay, no more
Oh,
spreading
shit.
lies. No more spreading lies.
Oh, boo.
Okay,
I love
anyways,
spreading lies.
so today we're gonna be reading. I mean, this is a creepypasta classic. This is one of the all-time goats. You know him, you love him. It's Sonic.EXE. So, I'm pretty excited for this. I've never actually read this. I just have played the little game. I think that's what most people have
Ooh.
done.
Yeah, I don't think I've read it either. So this will be a fun little read through we got going on.
This is the first time for all of us. I've heard many things about this one.
Yeah, I've heard nothing but bad things. So, I heard the person that wrote it has a big rant they wrote about how, furries are going to rise up because this got taken off the creepypasta wiki. So, that's
He also
pretty
got
awesome.
groomed He also groomed a child.
Oh, wow. So, this is a real stand-up citizen. Okay.
Dang.
You know, great individual.
Okay, well, I say we get into it. I think I'm just going to start reading. Then we're going to have Ross read some. Ross Vegas, and then we're gonna have Jesse read some, aka Bessie, aka the Sandwich. So it's gonna go the drink, the cup, the sandwich. That's the order.
Gotcha.
Okay. Anyways, they call me the drink because of my liquidity, by the way. So, anyways,
I don't know why they call him the sandwich though.
Yeah, that's a mystery. All right, Sonic.exe.
Yeah.
I'm a total Sonic the Hedgehog fan, much like everyone else. I like the newer games, but I don't mind playing the classics. I don't think I've ever played glitchy or hacked games before, though I don't think I want to play any after the experience I had. It started on a nice summer afternoon. I was playing Sonic Unleashed. I liked how you got to explore the towns in it, until I noticed, out of my peripheral vision, that the mailman had arrived and put something in my mailbox as usual and left. I paused my game to see what I got in the mail. The only thing in the mailbox was a CD case for computers and a note. I took it inside.
I looked at the note first and realized it was from my dear friend Kyle. Let's just call him that. Whom I hadn't heard from in 2 weeks. I know that because I recognized his handwriting. Though what was weird is how it looked. It looked badly written and scratchy, and somewhat difficult to read. As if Kyle was having a hard time writing it down and did it in a hurry. This is what he wrote. Tom, I can't take it anymore. I had to get rid of this thing somehow before it was too late. And I was hoping you'd do it for me. I can't do it. He's after me. And if you don't destroy this CD, he'll come after you too. He's too fast for me. He's too fast for me. Please, Tom. Destroy this godforsaken disc before he comes after you too. It's too late for me. Destroy the disc, and you'll destroy him. But do it quick, otherwise he'll catch you. Don't even play the game. It's what he wants. Just destroy it. Please. Kyle.
Just real quick. If
Pause.
Too fast for me.
In the scenario that I sent you guys a CD in the mail and basically had the same concept there, like please destroy this, do not play it, and it said Sonic on it. Would you play it, or would you be a good friend and destroy it?
I'd toss it like a discus.
Like what
Yeah,
would
I
you
don't
do,
know.
Jesse?
I mean, realistically, I'm probably making a phone call to you, seeing where you at. But no, I'm probably not playing this game.
Yeah, that's reasonable.
I'd
I mean,
probably throw it on my shelf and forget about it.
yeah, I mean, I probably just wouldn't really touch it. I'm not gonna lie. Well, because here's the problem with this is that like I don't think any of us are like that big of fans of Sonic. Who's gonna be like, oh, my friend sent me this weird thing asking me to destroy it, but it's Sonic. I really want to play. Uh,
What if it's like a virus or something?
exactly. I would think it was a virus. I would be like, this is
Thinking
odd.
too.
I would honestly
Yo.
call one of you and be like, hey, did you send this to me? And if you said yes, I'd be like, why didn't you destroy it? It's like takes 2 seconds.
I'd take the Sonic.EXE CD, wipe it and start burning tunes onto it.
Yeah, I would put Toho on it, or Tuhu, however it's pronounced. Yeah, if he could write a letter and go to the post office and send it, he could have just cracked it himself.
Dude,
Just
that's
like
what I was just about to say.
Yeah,
chuck that thing against your
figured.
wall, bro.
Yeah, I don't know. I feel like Tom's a bad friend. At the end of the day, I would figure it was like you just really needed me to do this for you. I would just snap it in half because I wouldn't care that much. I'd be maybe worried that one of you guys are like into kids, but like I would just destroy it because I wouldn't want to be implicated either.
What if you use it as a drink coaster?
Oh, that'd be funny. Dude, I'm gonna get a CD and write Sonic.exe on it and start using it as a coaster. Anyways,
Awesome.
let's start reading again. I just wanted to point that out, that this part, I did know this part about the creepypasta, and it always bothered me. Because, like, what kind of friend is Tom? Just kind of seems sucky. Anyways, go ahead, Jesse.
Well, that was certainly weird. Even though Kyle is my best friend, and I haven't seen him in 2 weeks, I didn't do what he asked me. I didn't think that a simple gaming disc would do anything bad to him. After all, it's just a game, right? Boy, was I wrong about that. Anyway, I looked at the disc, and it looks like any ordinary computer CDR disc, except it had black marker on it, written Sonic.exe. And it was much unlike Kyle's handwriting, meaning that he must have gotten it from someone else, like a pawn shop or eBay. When I saw Sonic on the writing of the CD, I was actually excited and wanted to play it, since I'm a big Sonic fan.
Really need to emphasize that there.
Yeah, what kind of friend? Also, why is Kyle sending this to Tom? He's like, oh, Tom, who's weirdly obsessed with Sonic, let me send him the evil Sonic game I need him to destroy. Come on, man. Bad logic.
Sounds
Kyle.
like something Sonic would send.
Seriously.
Yeah, he's like, Kyle's my best friend and I haven't seen him in 2 weeks. But I'm gonna just play this game even though he sent me this grave letter.
Seriously. Like, you gotta be really into Sonic. I mean, he does say, I'm a big Sonic fan, so I guess it makes sense.
Capital letters.
Yeah, all caps. Anyways, I went up to my room and turned on my computer and put the disc in and installed the game. When the title screen popped up, I noticed that it was the first Sonic game. I was like, awesome! Because, like I said earlier, I like the classics. First thing I noticed that was out of place when I pressed start, theirs was a split second when I saw the title image turned into something much different. Something that I now consider horrifying before cutting to black. I remember what the image looked like in that split second before the game cut to black. The sky had darkened. The title emblem was rusted and ruined. The Sega 1991 was now instead Sega 666, and the water had turned red, like blood, except that it looked hyper-realistic. Wow, what kind of eyes does this dude have? You can see a split second and you get all that detail? Dang!
Yo, this game was made in 666.
Yeah, that's a long time ago, man.
Yo, the Romans made this game. It's the Cup's turn now. But the freakiest thing that was in that split-second frame was Sonic. His eyes were pitch black and bleeding with two glowing red dots staring right at me. And his smile had stretched wider up to the edge of his face. I was rather disturbed about that image when I saw it, though I figured that it was just a glitch and forgot about it. After it cut to black, it stayed like that for about 10 seconds or so. Then another weird thing happened. The save file select from Sonic the Hedgehog 3 popped up. And I was like, WTF? What's this doing in the first Sonic game? Anyway, then I noticed something off. The background was a dark, cloudy sky of the bad Stardust Speedway level from Sonic CD. And there were only 3 save files. The music was that creepy Caverns of Winter music from Earthbound. Only it was extended and seemed to have been in reverse. And the image for the save file where you see a preview of the level you're on is just red static for all 3 files. What freaked me out more was the character select. It showed only Tails, Knuckles, and to my surprise, Dr. Robotnik. Now, I was sure that something was up. I mean, how can you play as Robotnik in a classic Sonic game? For crying out loud. He's a Robotnik truther.
That's not in the game. I like how it takes him that long to figure out something's wrong.
It wasn't
Well, dude ignores the whole, like, demonic Sonic thing.
It wasn't the...
And was like, oh, Dr. Robotnik.
Yeah, he goes...
Oh, Blood Red Rivers? Just a glitch. Dr. Robotnik, something's up here.
He goes, hyper-realistic blood rivers. Everything being crazy for only 1 frame. The Sonic CD background. The Sonic 3 save select. Music literally from Earthbound. Like, I'm asleep. It doesn't matter. This is probably real. Oh, Eggman. Something seems fishy here.
Something is up here. Alright.
The sandwich. That's when I realized that this wasn't a glitchy game. It was a hacked game. Yeah, it definitely looked hacked. It was really creepy, but as a smart gamer, I wasn't scared. Or at least I tried not to be. I told myself that it was just a hacked game, and there's nothing wrong with that. Anyways, shaking off the creeped out feeling, I picked file 1 and chose Tails, and when I selected and got started, the game froze for about 5 seconds, and I heard a creepy pixelated laugh that sounded an awful lot like that Kefka guy from Final Fantasy before cutting to black.
The screen stayed black for about 10 seconds or more, then it showed the typical level title thing, except the simplistic shapes were different shades of red, and the text showed only Hill, Act 1. The screen faded and the level title vanished, revealing Tails in the green hill zone from Sonic 1. The music was different though. It sounded like a peaceful melody in reverse. Anyway, I started playing and had Tails start running, like you would in any of the classic Sonic games. What was odd was that as Tails was running along the level, there was nothing but a flat ground and a few trees for 5 minutes. That was when the peaceful music started to lower down into slow, deep tones, very slowly as I kept going. I suddenly saw something and I stopped to see what it was. It was one of the small animals lying dead on the ground bleeding. That was when the music started to slow down. Tails had a shocked and saddened look on his face that I never saw him have before. So I had to move along, and he kept that worried look on his face. As he kept moving, I saw more dead animals. As Tails moved past them, looking more and more worried as the music lowers and he moves past more dead animals, I was shocked to see how they all died. They looked like somebody had killed them in rather gruesome ways. A squirrel was hanged on a tree with what appeared to be his entrails hanging out. of Bunny had all 4 of his limbs torn off and a duck had his eyes gouged out and his throat slit. I felt sick to my stomach when I saw this massacre, and apparently so did Tails. After a few more seconds, there were no more animals, and the music seemed to have stopped. I still kept Tails to continue.
After a minute passed, after the music stopped, Tails was running up a hill, and then he stopped. It wasn't until I saw why. Sonic was there on the other side of the screen, with his back against Tails, with his eyes closed. Tails looked happy to see Sonic, but then his smile faltered, obviously noticing that Sonic wasn't responding to him. If not acting as if he was totally oblivious of Tails' presence. Tails walked slowly towards Sonic, and I noticed that I wasn't even moving my keyboard to make him move. So this had to have been a cutscene. Suddenly, I began to have a growing feeling of dread as Tails walked closer to Sonic to get his attention. I felt that Tails was in danger, and something bad was going to happen. I heard a faint I almost read that as satanic static growing louder as Tails was but inches away from Sonic and stopped and stuck his hand out to touch him. That foreboding feeling in my gut was growing stronger, and I felt the urge to tell Tails to get away from Sonic as the static grew louder. Get away from that man.
Suddenly, in a split second, I saw Sonic's eyes open, and they were black with those red glowing dots, just like that title image, though there wasn't a smile. When that happened, the screen turned black and the static sound was off. It stayed black for about 7 seconds, and then white text appeared, forming a message saying, "Hello, do you want to play with me?" At this point, I was creeped out. I didn't want to continue with the game, but my curiosity got the better of me when I was taken to a different level, with the level title now saying, "Hide and Seek." This time, I was in the Angel Island level from Sonic 3, and it looked like everything was on fire.
Tails looked as though he was scared out of his wits this time. He actually looked at me and made frantic gestures to me as if he wanted to get out of the area he was in as fast as possible. I was starting to get freaked out by this. I mean, Tails was actually breaking the 4th wall, trying to tell me to get him out of there. So I pressed down on the arrow key as hard as I could and made him run as fast as he could. A pixelated version of that creepy theme when you meet Shadow at the Ark, as Robotnik from SA2 was playing as I made Tails trek through the desolate forest, trying to help him escape from whatever he was trying to run from.
Yo, they got a song from Sexual Assault 2 here?
No. Sonic Adventure 2, bruh. I mean, I know you're making a joke, but I can't believe you didn't get what it was referencing.
It's called Humor Liberal.
Man, shut up. Just read it.
Suddenly, I heard that creepy laugh again. That awful Kefka laugh. Right after 10 seconds have passed, as I helped Tails run through the forest. And then, I started seeing flashes of Sonic popping everywhere on the screen, again with those black and red eyes. The music changed to that suspenseful drowning jingle as I see Sonic behind Tails, slowly gaining up on him, flying. Sonic wasn't running. He was actually flying. They fly now. The flying pose his sprite was making looked very similar to Metal Sonic's flying pose in Sonic's CD, except it was just Sonic, and he had the black and red eyes again, only this time he had the most deranged looking grin on his face. He looked as though he was enjoying the torment he's giving the poor little fox as he gained up on him.
Suddenly, when Tails tripped, another cutscene, The music stopped and Sonic vanished. Tails laid there and started crying for 15 seconds. The scene was rather upsetting to watch, and I kinda teared up myself. But then Sonic appeared right in front of Tails, and Tails looked up in horror. Blood started to come down those blackened eyes of Sonic's as a grin slowly grew from his face as he looked down at the horrified fox. I could do nothing but watch.
Okay, actually, I want to say this first. I don't know why it's always with these creepypastas that the main character, like, sees something that's like, yeah, I guess it's a little creepy, but it's not, like, they have no reason to believe that it's, like, mystical or magical or going to hurt them in any way. And they're like, I was so disturbed. Like, dude, at this point you should be pretty well aware you're playing, like, a creepy hack of Sonic. Why are you, like, so shocked by Tails tripping and looking sad?
I like how precise his time measurements are too.
Seriously.
He doesn't say like for a moment. It says for like 15 seconds.
Yeah, I mean, this dude he has a stopwatch with him. So I don't know, it's just a weird
It's like
trope.
weirdly descriptive. Like I'd be like, yo, Kyle is playing a prank on me.
Yeah, exactly. Like, you wouldn't be like that terrified. You'd be like, huh, this is really odd. I'd be like, wow, whoever like made this like put a lot of time into this. Anyways, let's see, where'd you end off?
I just want to say it's like when someone's telling you a fake story. They just
Yeah.
like go way into detail with it.
Yeah, it's like, okay, well now I don't believe this at all anymore, because why do you know like the exact amount of time that they like were in the air? You counted down to the millisecond? Come on, man. Just in a split second, Sonic lunged at Tails right before the screen went black. There was a loud screeching noise that only lasted 5 seconds. The text returned, only this time it said, "You're too slow. Want to try again?" And then that god-awful laugh came with it. I was so shocked by what had happened. Did Sonic murder Tails? No, he couldn't have. He and Tails are supposed to be best friends, right? Why did Sonic do that to him? It's not real.
Why would he do that?
He's like taking it way too seriously. Does he think Sonic's a real person?
It's like when people get way too defensive over fan art. No, not accurate.
No, the skin
Deku
tone
would
is
never
off.
shop.
Hey man,
Deku would never shop at Costco.
You misrepresented them. Like, dog, it's not real. He's looking at this and he's like freaking out. Like, this is the real life Sonic, bro.
Yo,
It's
is
fiction.
this person Christian?
Yeah, seriously, his arms aren't blue or whatever. Yeah, it was the blue arms was the issue with Chris Chan. Like,
Those arms are blue.
Is Tom going to go pepper spray a GameStop employee over this?
He's gonna pepper spray Kyle. This CD is not lore accurate, Kyle.
It's ridiculous.
I shook the shock off as I was brought back to the character select. The save file that had Tails was different. Tails was in the box itself,
Yeah,
but the TV screen itself, which was flickering with red static. Tails' expression scared me. His eyes were black and bleeding. His orange fur had gone black. And he had an expression of anguish on his face. Trying to ignore it, I picked Knuckles next. The laugh came again, and the screen cut to black again, and stayed there for another 10 seconds. This time the level said, "You can't run." I was really freaked out by now. I couldn't really tell if this was a glitch, or a hack, or some kind of twisted joke, or anything really. But despite my fear of what happened next, I kept playing.
What are the odds He's like, I can't tell if this is a glitch or not. What do you mean? A glitch is like you fall through the floor. Not not this.
It looks like V-static.
Actually, no, one time I was playing Skate 3 and I did have a glitch like this.
I think this might be a self-insert of the author.
Quite possibly.
Definitely is.
Because, like, he gets weirdly defensive about the story all the time.
Yeah.
It's like, my worst nightmare is watching all of the Sonic characters turn evil.
My worst fear is Tails becoming black.
Yeah, dude, this guy's got some freaking issues. Like, I mean, you read so many of these creepypastas, right? And there's just so many that go on and on about how this is like the worst thing that's ever happened to them. And it's always like, I have to kill myself now because Mario had blood eyes. Like, dude, move on. It's like, I get that it's a little spooky, but come on, man. Like, it's not that bad.
Foreshadowing. Blood coming soon. Or poop whistle.
Yeah,
whatever comes first.
We're doing poop whistle if we're gonna read that one. I believe it is
All right,
the sandwich's turn.
To much different. It had the sound. It had the ground of the scrap brain zone, but the sky background looked like the main menu. It had the dark, reddish, cloudy sky, but it was the music that creeped me out the most. It sounded like Gaiga's theme right after you beat Pokey in Earthbound. I also noticed that Knuckles looked afraid, just like Tails did, though not as much. More rather, he looked a little unnerved. He broke the fourth wall just like Tails, and looked as if he wasn't sure about going on. But I made him move anyway. He ran down the straight pathway in this dark level, and as he did, the screen started to flicker red static a couple times, and then that maddening laugh came again.
Then, after a few seconds of running, I noticed several bloodstains on the metallic ground. I felt a growing sense of fear again, thinking that something horrible was going to happen to Knuckles. He looked nauseated walking down this blood-stained road, but I still kept him going. Suddenly, as Knuckles ran, Sonic appeared right in front of him with those black and red eyes, and then red static appeared again. When the static vanished, showing nothing but a black screen with text saying, "Found you," and it's kind of like alternating caps and lowercase. Anyways, I was now scared. Sonic found Knuckles already. What was going on? Anyways, red static came again, and then I was back to the level. Knuckles looked like he was panicking, and Sonic was nowhere to be found. And this time, that high-pitched squealing from the Silent Hill 1's final boss was playing. Was this some kind of boss battle with Sonic? I hope to God it wasn't, honestly.
He doesn't want to fight his hero.
I can't fight Sonic, please.
I can't fight my Pookie.
But Sonic's the good guy.
Sonic
He's the
wouldn't
good
do
guy.
this.
I could never fight him.
No,
I bet he had a panic attack playing Sonic the Fighters.
Seriously, bro. I will not fight my Sonic. No.
I can't beat up my goat like this. No.
Because even if you do choose Sonic in that game, you have to do like a Ditto fighter at one point. So it's like you have to fight Sonic no matter what. It's over.
So over.
Sonic Fighters.exe.
Dude, that would go hard. Sonic the Fighters is actually like one of my favorite games ever. I know it like is bad objectively, but dude, it's so fun. And full disclosure, I'm a Sonic fan. I grew up playing like a lot of Sonic. I just didn't have access to the internet, so I never really got freaky with it.
Yo, you're a rare case.
Yeah.
Something about that franchise makes people weird.
It's got the Freakonomics in it or something.
It makes folk a little strange.
Yeah.
Suddenly, Sonic appeared right behind Knuckles. In what appeared to be pixelated black smoke. I made Knuckles turn and then punch Sonic, but Sonic vanished in black pixelated smoke before I could even land a hit. That terrible laugh went off again. Then Sonic appeared behind Knuckles again, and then I made him punch again, and Sonic vanished again, laughing. Knuckles was panicking even more, and even I felt like I was going crazy. Sonic was practically playing with us, like he was playing a sick, twisted little mind game with me and Knuckles.
Oh.
Another cutscene played as Knuckled. Whoa. Spelling error. Knuckled. Knuckle would be just Knuckles with one quill.
Yeah, he's only got
What
one
would
knuckle.
What would Knuckled be?
Knuckles with one knuckle? I don't know.
Yo, Knuckles with braids.
Hard.
Knuckled fell to his knees and clutched his head, sobbing. I felt his agony. Sonic was actually driving us both crazy. And then, in a split second, Sonic lunged at Knuckles, and the screen went black with another distorted screeching noise that lasted at least 3 seconds.
No, not 3 seconds.
Another text message appeared. So many souls to play with. So little time. Would you agree? What the hell? Just what is going on? I started to think Sonic was actually trying to talk to me through the game, but I was too scared to think that. I was brought back to the main menu, and this time the second file box had Knuckles in the TV screen. His red fur had darkened to a reddish gray. His dreadlocks were dripping with blood, and his eyes were black and bleeding too, and he had a look of sadness on his face. I began to think that those are the actual characters trapped in those TV screens on the save files, but I couldn't believe it. I didn't want to believe it.
I think this guy really is Chris Chan, actually. Because
Seriously.
he's like, they really are the real characters. What do you mean?
They are the true and honest Sonichu characters.
They're like,
I believe,
this is the dimensional merge or something? Like, come on, man. What are you talking about? They're
If
the
he saw-
true ones.
if he saw gay Sonic fan art, I think he'd punch a hole in his monitor.
Seriously, dude. I mean, the way he's talking about these characters is like, no, Sonic wouldn't do that. Like, it's like he thinks they're all, like, genuinely just one Sonic. Like, it's an actor or something. Like, dude, it's a computer game.
It's like those memes about people saying Hello Kitty doesn't she doesn't drink or smoke or like knives and blood. She likes cupcakes and with hanging out with her friends. It's like that, but like 10 times.
I know, it's just awesome. Like, this guy keeps on giving me these Chris Chan-isms, and it's just starting to really paint a picture of what kind of person Tom
Sonic would
is.
never do that.
No, Sonic doesn't have arms like that.
Sonic would never do that to his friends.
Don't call anybody. I don't know, dude. This
Sonic
guy's
doesn't laugh like that.
Sonic doesn't laugh like Kefka from Final Fantasy.
I like how he can identify all the game sounds too.
I know, this guy is like a real, this guy is a real autism enjoyer because he's got every single soundbite, like, down. This is the Silent
Yo.
Hill 1 boss fight theme. And now it is playing from Earthbound.
He's a well-traveled gamer.
I mean, not only that, he just memorizes everything. He's awesome. This guy, Tom's kind of the GOAT.
What do you mean?
He just knows everything.
A Sonic Adventure 2 map in the first one with creepy Sonic? What?
No! This is playing up. He even, like, knows, like, chiptune versions of the songs. He's like, oh, this is actually this song remixed to be 16-bit chiptune. I mean, this guy's a real gamer. He did call himself a smart gamer earlier, which I wish I was.
He's a cool autistic gamer.
I love those videos. Okay. So I shut off the game and took a break. I took a nap. Wish I hadn't, because I then began to have the most disturbing nightmare. I was in pitch black darkness, though I was under the light given off by a lamp that hung high above my head. I could hear the cries of Knuckles and Tails nearby. They're saying stuff like, "Help us," and "Why'd you give us to him?" and "Run away before I get you too." Their cries died out as I then heard Sonic laugh. His laugh sounded a lot like the distorted Kefka laugh. Yeah, okay, we get it. Okay, now I'm gonna do a Sonic voice. "You're a lot of fun to play with, kid. Just like your friend Kyle. Though, he didn't last long."
Whoa.
Oh, nah. Sonic.EXE.
Sonic in the Dreams.
Seriously, Sonic Dream Collection?
Yo, you having a wet dream about Sonic.EXE?
I mean, I've done that.
Yo, Sonic.EXE try not to come challenge.
Man, come on, man. Just read.
I was scared and looking around for the source of the voice. It won't be long now until you join them. And all my other friends. I saw him walking toward me, looking in and out in several directions. You can't run, kid. You're in my world now, just like the others. When he grabbed me, I saw his bleeding black and red-eyed grinning face. I woke up with a fright. After a couple of hours, I decided to continue playing the game. I don't know why, but I had to know. I had to figure out why this was happening. So I turned on the computer, turned on the game, and selected Robotnik next.
That was wacky, playing as a Robotnik. But anyway, the level title appeared again, and this time it said ... which I found really freaky. This time, I was in some kind of hallway. Didn't really look like it was from any of the classic Sonic games, though it has the pixelated style. The floor was shiny and checkered. The walls were a dark, grayish purple with animated candlelights and a few dark bloodstains here and there. And there was a dark red curtain hanging above on the top part of the screen. Every 12 seconds or so, that red curtain sways very slowly. But whenever you're playing the game, you can barely see it move. The music was oddly pleasant, a piano playing a rather sad yet peaceful song. But I knew better. This was the song that played in Hill Act 1, only it wasn't in reverse.
Robotnik didn't look entirely nervous like Tails and Knuckles did, but he did have a suspicious look on his face as if he was just a bit paranoid. He did a little animation when I had just left him standing. He turns his head to the left and then to the right at least twice, and then shrugs at me as if he has no idea where he was or what was going on. Even though I was scared out of my mind about what was going to happen, I had Robotnik continue onward. He did his usual running animation, you know, when you've beaten him at the end of the classic Sonic game and you chase him, as we continued going through the hallway. Then, I stopped at a long flight of stairs leading downward. Now I was nervous, even Robotnik seemed unsure of himself, though I pressed onward. As I led Robotnik down the stairs, I noticed the walls had gotten darker and more reddish, the red torches now an eerie blue. Then we landed onto another hallway. This one was longer than the last one, or at least it felt like it. Then we headed down another flight of stairs. We headed down on another flight of stairs down. This one was much longer. Took at least 1 full minute.
I just want to point out that he's still not hung up over over playing Robotnik.
It's so weird. Like, dude, you saw a lot of weird things so far. Get over it.
This isn't even like the third weirdest thing.
Throwing in these like weird details.
I know, that's like the part that's like kind of tripping me up with this, is that it's like, why are you throwing in these random details? It took about 1 minute to get down the hallway. It was about 15 seconds for the red static or whatever, you know? It's like, what, dog? Why are you... Okay, who cares?
Every 12 seconds, the red curtain sways very slowly, but if you're playing the game, you can't actually see that happening.
Then how did you? Like, that's... It just feels like whoever's writing this thinks they're freaking really awesome at writing. Anyways, you're good to start reading now, Mr. Cup.
Thank you, Mr. Drink. And then, that horrid Kefka laugh again. And then the music slowly faded until it was quiet. As it did, the walls turned more dark red, and the torches were a black flame now. When Robotnik landed onto the third hallway, suddenly, Sonic popped right in front of Robotnik, the same way he did Knuckles, and then, red static. The red static lasted for about 15 seconds, and then it showed me a most unpleasant image. The image showed a hyper-realistic of Sonic, standing in the darkness, where you can only see his face, while his head and torso faded into black. And when I say hyper-realistic, I mean he looked so real you could actually see the lines in his blue fur, as if you could really feel the fur. Green.
As if you could feel the fur if you touched the screen. Come on, man.
He looked like a real hedgehog.
Wow, real girls!
Real life
It's like
girls.
I can almost reach out, touch him, and kiss him on his face.
Oh.
Oh, I edged to Sonic.EXE.
Don't we all?
His face. Oh god, he had the most horrifying smile I had ever seen. And that's saying something, considering I saw that image at the start of the game. For a split second, or whatever it was. His eyes were wide and black. And once again, crying blood, which also looked hyper-realistic. And there were two small glowing red dots in those black eyes staring right at me, as if staring into my mind. His grin was wide and demonic. It literally stretched to the sides of his face like a Cheshire cat, except it had fangs. Much like the werehog's teeth, except more vicious looking, somewhat yellowish, and from the look of it, he had stains of blood and small bits of flesh on his lips and fangs as if he ate some animal. I stared at that gruesome image for a good 30 seconds, never taking my eyes off it. I felt as if he was actually looking at me, smiling at me. That face. It just took 10 seconds for it to etch itself into my brain for good.
I thought it was 30 seconds.
Again with those stupid time measurements. What is this guy on about?
It, like, initially I was like, that's weird, but now it's like taking me out of it. I'm like, dude, does this guy have a stopwatch? What is he doing? They're not even lining up anymore.
Got photographic
He's
memory.
like, holy crap.
I stared at it for 30 seconds. It just took 10 seconds to etch it into my brain for good. Okay?
Oh, bad.
He's like at the 10-second mark, he's like, that's in there for good. And I'm going to keep staring for another 20 seconds.
Alright, now I can stop looking at it.
He's like, these people, the readers are definitely going to want to know how long I looked at this dude's face.
Seriously, bro. I mean, I do, so. Then, the screen flickered with a red static, again 3 times, and on the 3rd time I heard the Kefka laugh, except this time it sounded distorted. Demonic, even. It went back to the image again, except this time there was the text again, though it was messed up, but it was pretty much one of the most horrifying things I looked at since I had this game. I am God. It was when I read that message while looking at Sonic when it hit me. I realized right there and then, Sonic was a monster, a pure evil, sadistic, all-powerful, nightmarish, demented monster. And all of his victims, including Tails, Knuckles, Robotnik, and possibly Kyle, are just his little toys. And the game is the very gateway into his chaotic, nightmarish world, and the very hell his victims are trapped in. Suddenly, in an actual split second, I screamed as Sonic lunged at the screen, screeching loudly with his mouth wide open, to an unnatural length, revealing nothing but a literally spiraling abyss of pure darkness before the red static came, and this time much louder and very distorted, so loud it hurt my ears. I yelled and grabbed my ears as the red static screeched for a good 7 seconds. Come on, man.
For a good 7 seconds.
It was about 7 seconds. While I was screeching and grabbing my ears, I was also hitting my stopwatch.
He's like, ah, beep, ah.
Oh, wow, 7 seconds. Great.
He's like keeping a logbook next to him.
Seriously, why? He knows every single amount of time. I'm looking ahead, there's more. There's multiple more.
Oh, no.
Oh, man. Then it stopped and showed nothing but black screen. As I sat there, staring at the black screen, one last text came up. Ready for round 2, Tom? The Kefka laugh, now sounding more clear, as if Sonic was right behind me. Played again 3 times, as I looked at the text in shock and confusion. Then I got booted back to the main menu, and this time the third save file had a TV image of Robotnik in the same tormented state as Tails and Knuckles. Robotnik's skin turned a dull gray. His mustache drooped and had blackened. His glasses broke and blood was coming from them. And he had a mere dead-like expression on his face. I looked at Tails, Knuckles, and Robotnik, and I cried a bit. I pitied them for the agony they're going through. They were forever trapped within the game, forever tormented by that horrid hedgehog, and always will be. Aren't all video game characters trapped in their games?
Yeah.
Let's be real here.
Because they're not real. They're not trapped, because if you took them out of it, it would just be code.
So not real.
Yeah.
So he does just think these characters are real.
He's completely convinced. He thinks the dimensional merge is going to happen.
Yo, when is this dude gonna start Mason GameStop employees?
Seriously, he needs to get after that.
Yo, get this man a gun.
Then the computer shut itself off. I couldn't turn it back on no matter what I did. I sat there for maybe 25 seconds, horrified by what had just happened. Sonic is the very embodiment of evil. Tortures people who play his game in more ways than one. And then when he gets bored, he drags you into the game. Literally drags you to hell, where he can play with you always as his toy. I can't get the game out of my computer. I think it's stuck in there. But at least I managed to turn it back on now. After I sat there for 25 seconds, I heard a voice right behind me, like a whisper. Try to keep this interesting for me, Tom. I turned around to see where the voice came from, and what I saw made me scream. Sitting on my bed, staring right at me, was a Sonic plushie, smiling with bloodstains under its eyes. The end.
There was a stuffed animal. What?
My God.
No!
A Sonic plushie.
With blood under its eyes. No! No! Brother, what? Huh?
There's a page we're reading this on. There's the author's response to the story getting deleted. Should we read that too?
Let's discuss the story, and then I will go through and dramatically read it. Is that cool with you guys?
That's awesome. Let's do that.
Okay, so why was there so much exact timing? That was bothering me. Like, I know that's a dumb thing to genuinely be caught up on, but seriously, every 2 seconds, the curtain would slightly sway every 12 seconds, but you were not able to see it. I was sitting there for 25 seconds. I ran down the hallway for a minute. Like, what, dude? Who cares? Why?
It's like he's reading a police report.
Seriously, like, did you record all of this? Is that why you know? There's just so much with it. And, I mean, we do have our classic tropes. Hyper-realistic blood, hyper-realistic everything. I don't know if Sonic.EXE is the, like, originator of hyper-realism or not. I always thought it was the Squidward one, but I don't know.
I had like 3 descriptive words, and it was hyper-realistic and then, like, times.
Like, I know Sonic has black eyes with red dots in them. I know.
I like also that at the end, it's like not implying that there's some sort of sinister monster in their computer. It's instead implying that Sonic is actually evil. And he's like a guy.
Sonic is real and he's evil.
Yeah.
That is a crazy twist.
I know, like, it's not the twist. I always kind of figured the twist was like, oh, my computer's being haunted, right? Like some entity is like pretending to be Sonic. No. What it's saying right here is that Sonic is just straight up evil and tortures his friends and will torture you in real life.
I thought this was like the greatest cliffhanger he could ever do. He was like, and now I have to live with this evil Sonic plushie for the rest of my life.
Now I have a stuffed animal with blood stains on it that whispers at me sometimes.
Fucking punt that thing.
Seriously, dude, it's a stuffed animal. Light it on fire. You ever seen Chucky? That's at least plastic, right? This is straight up plush.
He gets destroyed like every movie.
Seriously, dude, come on.
Like toss him out the window or something.
Okay, I will say this. I'm gonna give some kudos to all the people that made the Sonic.exe like games, because, I mean, they're completely accurate. I mean, they're all like 1-to-1.
I feel like the fan base of the story really carries it.
Yeah, it must, because like there's nothing going on here. And it's weird how specific he gets with all the. This is Kefka's voice from Final Fantasy. Like, maybe they're thinking, oh, they can look it up and like be really excited to be like, that's the scary laugh. But I just feel like it doesn't give you any imagination with it, you know?
I guess it makes it easy to recreate. But you could have just done that by putting like it in afterwards, like his laugh sounds like this, or this music was playing.
I mean, it feels like a teenager wrote this, so I don't know.
Yeah, it's really clear to me that this dude read Ben Drowned and was like, dude, I have this crazy idea.
Yeah.
Like, this makes Ben Drowned look like an award-winning novel.
Which, I actually do think Ben Drowned is good. It just has weak points. I don't know if this came out first, though. I don't actually know the order. Probably Ben Drowned was first.
I'm about to look it up.
Yeah.
I looked it up. Ben Drowned was 2010, and this came out in 2012.
Oh, okay, yeah.
Damn, Ben Drowned hit it first.
Yeah, Ben Drowned did it first. That makes sense. The problem, though, is that Ben Drowned like had actual videos that came with it. Like, Ben Drowned is not.
Yeah, that was
much
like the cool part of it.
And so, like, I think that they're trying to get into that market a little bit with like, oh yeah, and here's this laugh. It was this long. Here's the music. But it's not the same.
Taking your what is it? It's eluding me right now. Your suspension of disbelief.
Yeah, suspension of belief or whatever, disbelief or I don't know. Suspend your disbelief.
Suspend your disbelief. Whatever. And in your mind, you're thinking, this is just a story, but hey, this would be pretty freaky if it were real.
I mean, even then, I wouldn't be that scared until I mean, okay, I'm not gonna lie. If I went through this experience, if I was Tom, I probably would not be scared until like the bloody stuffed animal showed up. But even then, I wouldn't be that scared.
Be like, oh, this is just some horror ROM hack.
Exactly. I mean, it's using music and stuff from other games. I would absolutely think it was just a ROM hack and that Kyle was messing with me.
Oh, Kyle doesn't mess with me for
Your
2 weeks.
computer
He starts
shuts
to prank me.
off.
Like, that's a thing you can do with these games. I mean, I would be kind of pissed off because I'd be like, wow, whoever developed this is like,
Like an asshole.
yeah, it kind of sucks and is doing things that I don't really like with my computer,
This asshole put a virus on my computer.
Yeah, exactly. I would just be like, it's like a virus. That sucks.
Yeah, it wouldn't be like evil Sonic Demon Man is real and haunting my computer.
And it's actual Sonic, too. Like, real life Sonic is haunting me. Crap. Also, when
Evil Sonic is haunting me.
I'd be so pissed off if evil Sonic was haunting me.
I am God. It's so funny.
That line, when I was a little kid, genuinely scared me so bad, it made me, like, want to vomit. I slept in my parents' room for a long time when I saw that. It was in, like, the Markiplier Let's Play. And when I saw that, I genuinely, like, I was terrified. So, that's the fun
fan
fact
game
of the
really
day.
carries this one.
It does. The fan game carries it so hard, and the fan game is kind of just a walking simulator. Which is funny because it's what is described as a walking simulator. There's nothing you do except for walk around and try to punch Sonic a little bit when you're Knuckles.
You walk and there's a quick time event.
Yeah.
You can't fault the game for not being accurate, though.
Yeah, no, the game is 100% accurate. I was honestly shocked.
I thought
Okay,
they deviate a little bit.
final reviews. What are your reviews on this?
This is some bullshit.
This is a total waste of internet space. Nothing. Like, there's not even, like, good comedic value in reading this.
Except for, like, nostalgia.
Yeah. I mean, that's kind of my issue.
Right.
I think that it's, like, not even funny bad. Like, there's some points that are a little funny. Yeah. Like, I thought the Knuckles section kind of made me laugh.
Some of the spelling errors are kind of funny.
Yeah. And, like, the
And, like,
ending
being overly descriptive.
Gold.
Yeah, the stuffed animal at the end kind of made me laugh. But for the most part, it's just, like, boring and too much details on weird things. Like, I don't know.
And you can't even call it original, because it's not.
Yeah, it does feel like very bend drown knockoff. I don't know. I would just say that this is entirely carried by its fan base. There's no point where I genuinely feel like this is that good.
And people will be power scaling Sonic.EXE. And, like, in his own story, he just turns off a computer for 25 seconds and shows up as a plush.
Dude, that's awesome. He's pretty strong. I don't know.
What if you're playing Sonic.EXE and you just took the memory out of your computer? You just took the RAM out of it.
It just wouldn't run.
Would that be like taking a piece of Sonic.EXE's brain out?
Probably, yeah.
Starts screaming in agony.
Yeah, no, that'd suck. Okay, what do you think is your favorite part? We should choose at least one favorite part for each of us.
I like the part where... Shit, I don't know. Nothing really stood out to me.
I think that I can say that my favorite part is actually the only part that's not really in the fan games. It was his like nightmare he had, because the character like Sonic like felt very very dorky and like anime to me. Like he's like teleports behind you. Nothing personal, kid. Like that's what I got from that.
I mean, people did say Goku Black is like a creepypasta character.
He really is.
Is Sonic.EXE the Goku Black of Sonic?
He absolutely is. I mean, Sonic and Dragon Ball are like low-key the same thing. So, yes.
There's some synergy there.
There really is. Jesse, what is your favorite part?
I think this is, like, pretty evident about what this guy was doing through the whole thing, but, like, when he was like, yeah, this definitely looked hacked and it was really scary, but as a smart gamer, I wasn't scared. Or at least I tried not to be. Like, that was just so funny. Like, he was like, yeah, I'm a real gamer. This crap can't get me. Except it actually it did a little bit.
It kind of got me a little bit. I honestly will start saying smart gamer. Like, I think I'm probably going to start calling myself a smart gamer, because that's a funny line.
Like, that's so funny. But as a smart gamer...
As a smart gamer, I knew not to be scared. But I was quaking in my boots just a little bit.
I like how he says he's scared, like, a little bit. When, like, in the rest of the story, he's, like, freaking out over this.
How about I read the last part, the author's response to the story being deleted? I deeply regret to inform you all that I have received some bad news. The admins of the creepypasta wiki have finally decided to delete Sonic.EXE off of the wiki on the grounds that it was, quote-unquote, badly written and had too many cliches and was a bad example of what should be a creepypasta. Bull friggin' horse shit. As you can see, I am furious with the fact that my masterpiece, which has won the hearts of millions and made a massive impact on the internet, is being brought down by a bunch of jealous, arrogant, retarded, furry haters. But this does not mean that I'm going to sit down and take this lightly. Nope. They have been messing with the bull, and now they've called out the horns. Listen, everyone. I need your help with this. We are at war here. I want every Sonic.EXE fan who is reading this to get the word out. I want you to tell every other Sonic.EXE fan out there, every fanatic, every artist, every follower of my creation about this. Tell your friends who are also Sonic.EXE fans, if they have to. Tell them we have to keep the spirit of Sonic.EXE alive. Make more fan art, make more videos, block the haters, praise Sonic.EXE like you've never have before. Build websites dedicated to his greatness. Whatever you gotta do to keep him alive and strong, just do it! The deletion of Sonic.EXE from the wiki is but a minor cut on our flower of greatness, my friends, and that cut has done nothing but further the spreading, and we are the pollen of this flower. We need to prepare for our victory over the haters. The haters need to bleed for their crimes. Rejoice, my fellow Sonic.EXE fans. Our glorious little hellspawn shall have the last laugh... our glorious little hellspawn shall have the laugh yet. This will be his ultimate victory. The absolute subjugation of the internet itself.
Dude is geeking.
This guy really is... He really is Chris Chan. What the heck?
I'd torture this dude in a shipping container. You know what I said.
You'd torture him in a shipping container?
Yeah, I'd torture him in a shipping container. That's exactly what I'll do. I'm him.
I was thinking more like I would put ants in his urethra.
I mean, I'd do that too.
Well, what were you gonna say, Jesse?
Like, the only redemption in this would have been if he was like playing off of being like this niche like Chris Chan lore consumer, and then like also like a creepypasta fan who like made this, but like considering what Ross was saying at the beginning, I doubt that this guy is faking it.
Yeah, no, this guy does seem like a freak.
He isn't.
That's so weird. Also, I think it's funny that he calls them furry haters. What does this have to do with anything?
I mean, the admins themselves just said it was shit.
Yeah, I don't know. Dude's an odd duck, you know?
Yeah, the millions of Sonic.EXE fans out there are going to have to disagree with you.
True. Ah, crap. I just ruined the podcast. Now we're going to have only haters.
These furry haters are going to come after us.
Yeah. I will say that this is not the kind of creepypasta I like to read on this, because I just didn't think it was that fun, honestly. Like, I think we had a fun time with it, but it's like, yeah, it was just because it's famous, and I was like, we can't just read super niche ones only.
We need to do things to keep our bills paid.
Yeah, and we do not make money off this. So, we appreciate you guys for listening. Hopefully it was a good time. We've been Who Was Phone? We got a couple little recommendations for you, just because we did that last time and I think it's fun. So I'll say that lately I've been playing Cookie Clicker like nobody's business, and I genuinely recommend you get it and play it. So fun. Fantastic game.
Shout out to Six Flags Magic Mountain. They got rid of Green Lantern. Thank God.
If you're not on that Wordscapes grind, you need to be. Make sure you're getting your brain powers up with that daily Wordscapes.
Cool. Well, we can call it here. Appreciate you coming out. We've been Who Is Phone, and I don't remember what the outro we did last time was. So, woo. Have a good one. Bye-bye.
We'll do something better next
Bye.
time.